Hi, this is Rick Brandenburg for Turf Bugs and Rock and Roll. And a couple of weeks ago, we put a video up where I talked about whether we thought that social media could impact things like the glyphosate issue by passing around information that's not necessarily accurate. And I think that at the end of that, it said, yeah, it can happen. It has happened in the past. It happened long before we had social media to the level we do now. We've seen things happen, especially regarding to pesticides, that something negative happens to their registration or their use patterns or whatever because misinformation gets spread. So since we posted that video the last 2 weeks, a lot has happened regarding glyphosate, and a lot of people really aren't happy about it. A second lawsuit was completed in California, and Monsanto was found liable for some ridiculous sum of money due to a cancer that a user had obtained or had gotten over the course of the time that he apparently used glyphosate. I really haven't read any of the details of the case, but a second case, the jury awarded the victim a significant amount of money. So what does that mean as we go forward? What, is this just going to be a cascade? My understanding there's over 3,000 cases pending, and is this just going to be just a ridiculous thing that really impacts how we do business? Because obviously in our business in turf, we rely upon glyphosate a lot, and in the bigger picture, agriculture really has a system where they rely heavily upon it by using Roundup Ready or glyphosate resistant crops, which significantly reduce the cost of production and do it in an environmentally friendly way. So there's a couple of things going on here which I think is important, because I think all of us are going to have a role to play in helping document the value of glyphosate or Roundup in our business and what an economic loss that would be and how it would impact us. So we're all going to need to possibly be participants in this, and hopefully the EPA and other agencies will begin to look at this in a proper way. Lots of misinformation gets spread. To my knowledge and the things that I've read, glyphosate has not been shown to be a carcinogen. Now, that doesn't mean absolutely beyond a shadow of a doubt would I bet my life on it that it could never cause cancer. No, but I'm 99.9% sure, based on everything that I've read, that it's not. So it does not have any characteristics about it in any of the studies that would indicate it indeed is potentially a carcinogen. So we know for a fact that those studies have supported the idea that it's not. So how are these cases being won by the person that has cancer? I'm not really sure. The one way that's used is what is called correlation. If this happens, then this. And obviously we have someone who has used Roundup and then they get one of the most common forms of cancer known. And so they're saying, well, they used Roundup and they got cancer, therefore Roundup caused it. Well, correlation is really a very weak sort of a relationship. I could show you data and a graph that showed that as organic food consumption has increased, the rate of children diagnosed with autism has also increased. Both of those are facts. To my knowledge, they absolutely are not related, but I could put together a very impressive graph and show that as organic food consumption's gone up, autism's gone up on a very parallel path, and someone could make the argument, as they're doing in these glyphosate cases, hey, one's got to be causing the other. So correlation is a very weak way. We can find that for almost anything. You can find relationships between two totally unrelated things and try to make a statement that one's related to the other, and it absolutely is not. So that's part of what's behind all this, of just trying to link one thing to another, and if they have the same track that they're on, hey, somebody makes an argument that it's the case. So here's what I'm going to do. I've already started this week, and I'm going to continue through this week and into next week. I'm going to post a lot of articles about these Roundup or glyphosate cases. I'm going to post articles about risk and hazard. I'm going to try to equip you as best as I can with articles I feel are reliable to help you, because here's the one situation I know is going to happen with almost everyone in golf course, sod farm, lawn care, sports turf. People are going to start asking more and more and more questions about glyphosate or Roundup use on the turf grass that they set foot on. And you better have good answers for them, because they're going to tell you, I either don't want you working here, or I don't want your company working here, I don't want you doing business, or I don't want you using Roundup. So there are going to be more questions because of these cases that are underway in the way that the jury or the judge determines that they need to go. So there are lots of information out there. I will try to get that to you as best I can on a very frequent basis, stepping it up from what we've been doing. But there's also another important point. There was an old saying that I think is really, really applicable, and I don't remember who said it now, but to paraphrase it, it's something like, people will forget what you told them, but they'll always remember how you made them feel. And what we have to show is empathy for their concerns, be reassuring in how we present things, and talk about how the science has shown this and this and this. And they're still going to make their own decision. But anyway, it's a tough time. Science seems to be going out the window on some of these cases. I'll try to keep you updated as best I can. Be alert for opportunities to talk about the safety and the patterns and all the research that goes on behind it. And we'll see if we can't work our way through this, and we'll hope for the best. Hope that helps. Look forward to seeing you again soon.